All right, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Christy, and my husband is Bruce, and my two kids are Ryan and Alec.
And what made you bring Ryan and Alec to Brain Balance?
Well, Ryan and Alec, Ryan has ADHD and autism spectrum disorder. Alec has PDD, and he also has type 1 diabetes, and left his muscles, and just basically he's just really weak. And also the kids were having stomach aches and diarrhea, and I would ask the medical professionals, what is going on with them, and they couldn't give me an answer. And I was kind of frustrated and prayed about it, and I heard Brain Balance's advertisement on the radio, and so I stopped in because it was right by our house and saw the receptionist reading Disconnected Kids, and I asked to buy the book and read it, and I went, oh my goodness, this is my kids. I never thought that maybe what they were eating is causing, food allergies and stuff. But I wanted to make sure, because I was a little skeptical, that I had them both tested, and it turned out that Ryan was allergic to wheat, gluten, dairy, tomatoes, peanuts, rye, and Alec was allergic to wheat, gluten, and dairy. And that's one of the things they do in the program, is take them off. And so I thought, okay. And then when I started reading the rest of the book, I have an associate's degree in early childhood. I'm a student at Grand Canyon University, and getting my bachelor's in early childhood. So when I was reading it, I thought, this makes a lot of sense. And it's the first thing that has made sense in a long time. So I pretty much knew that it was going to work, and then I had to convince my husband that it was going to work, and then I had to convince my kids that it was going to work. And so basically that is what brought me to Brain Balance, is just wanting to do the best I could for my kids as a mom, and being frustrated that there weren't really any programs that addressed all of the issues. And we had been to psychiatrists with Ryan, and they really didn't know what to do. We tried all these different medications, and he was still depressed and sick, and we weren't sure what to do.
And what changes have you seen so far?
Well, the first change was my kitchen. I had to completely throw out all the bagged, packaged food and gave it to the missionaries, and they took it gladly. And then, I learned to cook, and I learned how to cook dairy-free, gluten-free, wheat-free, and sometimes egg-free and sugar-free. And one thing I noticed right away is the stomach aches and diarrhea were greatly decreased. And about a week later, Ryan had a blinking tick that disappeared. And later on in the program, we took a vacation to Hawaii, and they begged me for macadamia nut ice cream with dairy and stuff, and we went to restaurants and stuff. The stomach aches and diarrhea came back, and Ryan's behavior just was really erratic, and just, he scared some people in a restaurant, told them to shut up. And we were like, what is with him? And I said, come on to bed, Ryan. I think you just had a little bit too much dairy. Well, he goes, Mom, I want to get back on the diet. I don't like how I feel. And so the kids went back on the diet, and their resistance had gotten low, so they caught a cold and a sore throat and everything. So we know that it's doing something, and So we went back on dairy, and I just bring treats whenever there are going to be treats. I bring gluten-free, dairy-free treats for the kids. And what else? Video games, we noticed when we took them away, mainly with Ryan, we're noticing drastic changes. Ryan was calm. He was really calm. And with the suggested magnesium, we were able to get him off his Ritalin that he's been on since he was 3. And he no longer needs that.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. And video games, it was like when we gave them back, he was all hyped up again and grouchy. So we took them back away, and we have our pussycat back. And he's building Legos and doing things that way. He's swimming, he's bicycling, he's wanting to do more brain balance, and both boys could hardly even do one sit-up, and now they can crank out 30. They're getting stronger, they're getting better, they just feel better, and that's what I wanted. I just want them to be happy and to be at the most, to have the best body that God gave them, and to be able to enjoy life the way my husband and I enjoy life. I don't want to necessarily cure anything, I just want it to be happy, but I've really noticed a difference in our family. We don't play video games anymore. We play board games. We read. We exercise. We go on walks. We do so much more than we used to. And this is just 3 months. And we still have a journey ahead of us, and I'm excited. And Alec, he goes, well, what can I do? My friends just want to play video games. And I said, just bring other stuff to do, and I bet they'll do it with you. So, those are the changes. A lot of changes in there, a lot of changes in me. I'm starting to notice and starting to actually find myself and find some of the things that distract me from what the main course is in what I want out of life.
That's
amazing.
Yeah,
And my husband doesn't like gluten, dairy-free food, but sometimes he eats it and doesn't know it. He says, this is really good, honey.
I love that.
So,
it's only the beginning.
It's been life-changing. It's almost like someone hit the reset button, or, everything just went bam, and then it was like clear. And right now, my son Ryan is an open book. Without the video games, it's like, okay, what do I like? What am I interested in? And so it's going to be really fun. And Alec and I took a ukulele class last night.
That's so fun.
So, I mean, it's great. And Alec was just saying, I love music. And, hadn't heard that before. I think he was taking it because Mom made him, because Mom loves music. So I've seen a big difference.
That's amazing. And what would you say to a family who's interested in brain balance?
I would say look at your kids with, their developmental issues. I would pray about it if you're religious. And I would read the book Disconnected Kids, and I would say read that, see if it makes sense, and I promise you it will. And if it makes sense, do it, because especially if you're frustrated and you've tried the medical route and they throw up their hands and say we don't know, I know that my kids are stronger and happier, and they're not perfect. I'm not perfect. We're still trying, but we are better people because of it. and I'm already recommending it to a friend. I'm going around telling them magnesium for ADHD. I just told my doctor today, Dr. Darren Jenkins. Ryan had an appointment with him, and he goes, "Really?" And I showed him the magnesium supplements. He goes, "I'm going to tell the pediatrician. I can't believe how much better Ryan is."
That's amazing.
So I would say give it a try. What have you got to lose? Because, you know, when we're talking about better nutrition, better, more healthy activities, things that will help engage their mind, things that are going to make them a success, that's what's so important. And this is what the program wants. And everybody is so nice and so supportive. And I just love it. I'm glad we did it. I am.
We are too. Well, thank you.
Thank you.